What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerd Bandit. My name is Shane, and I'll be your host on this wonderful, wonderful journey. And today's episode is brought to you by House of Heroes Comics and Collectibles, located on Highway 17 in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or on Facebook at House of Heroes. Check them out for all your vintage toy needs. They run auctions on their Facebook Live every so often and do claim sales in their comments. Again, that's House of Heroes, located on Highway 17 in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or online at facebook.com/House of Heroes. And we have a cat joining me already. So before we get into it, I want to introduce my guest. You see her on the screen, as she is a big time on Instagram, on Twitch. She just made her return to Twitch.
Yeah.
And then also on TikTok and all your other socials. She is the Queen G. Queen, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so ecstatic to be here. This is awesome.
Thank you for being here. So as we could see, she's a big Ninja Turtle fan. We are going to be talking Ninja Turtles.
Oh, really?
I think a little bit, yes. We'll be talking Ninja Turtles. We'll be talking retro video games, which she's also really big into, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So
cool.
Let's get right on into it. When did your love for the Ninja Turtles start?
So I'm old. I always just like to get that out of the way. Like, I'm going to say some old stuff. My first love was for the 1987 cartoons that came out. That became like a tradition, after school, we were watching the cartoons with my brother, and it was just like every day. And then on the weekends, right? I don't remember which day. I want to say it was like Saturday mornings or something like that. We would faithfully watch it on Saturday mornings growing up. So I've been a Turtle fan a while.
Awesome. Do you remember, I think Saturday morning, I think it was USA Network had a Cartoon Express with the train and all the cartoons.
Yes.
There it is. Somebody else remembers it.
Yes. Huge fan. Oh my gosh. Now see, my brain is already trying to like just
here we go.
Back in the day stuff. I love it. Yes, absolutely.
This was what got it started for. Was the old 1987 cartoon series.
Yeah, and you want to know something that I'm okay with saying? So, as the world evolved and everything started to go digital. Okay, I apologize. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my dog in the background.
Pets are going to be a part of the show. That's what we're going to do.
He should be.
Yeah.
He's a fan of the Turtles too.
Awesome.
But so I downloaded all of the episodes on like my iPad so that I could watch them like when I'm flying and traveling and stuff like that. And it wasn't until last year that somebody asked me if I had the DVD collection.
Yeah.
I was like, no, because I watch it, on my iPad, and I'll just cast it or whatever. And they were like, well, then you're not really a real Turtle fan. So I was like, what? Oh. So I went on Amazon, I got it, and I now have it. 30 something years later, but I do have it now.
So I'm trying to remember. So we see you're surrounded by Donatellos.
Yes.
I know you've answered this a million times on your socials, but why Donatello?
So that's a question I do get asked a lot. I will say, starting off, purple was my favorite color, right? It's just, as a young girl, I was a fan of purple. I really hope he'll quiet down. That's okay. And then as I got older, I realized, he wasn't a favorite. Like, nobody was really like Donatello. It was always Leonardo.
That's me as Leonardo.
Or Raphael or Mikey, but it was never Donnie. And so I just kind of got interested in learning more about Donatello, because he's like the underdog of the brothers, and I'm always a fan of the underdog. And now as an adult, he's the smartest, right?
He is.
He always gets everyone. Exactly. He does machines. He gets everyone out of the complicated, situations. He brings his brothers together. He's just done like a lot of really cool things to untangle a mess or to get them out of something. And I don't think he gets credited as much as he really should be. So I adore him, because without Donatello, the Turtles would not be the Turtles. And you go through the comics, the TV shows, the movies, are always asking him what to do, right? So I love him. I'm a huge Donatello fan.
Perfect answer. Perfect. I don't understand though why ever since I feel like the movie, the one the statue next to you, ever since the movie, every new incarnation of Donatello, they give him glasses and buck teeth. Like, have you seen the Seth Rogen design that just came out?
Yeah.
It's like, is there not a different way to show he's smart besides glasses and buck teeth?
Okay. Honestly, the 1987 cartoons and even the 2003 cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
even the 90s movies, like, I mean, his voice was a little bit higher, but
Right.
a little bit dorkier. I don't know why it's shifting now to this skinny little body Donatello. Like the Batman, the TMNT and Batman, he's got like an
Yeah.
oval shaped head and just really skinny.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw Seth Rogen's version of Donatello, honestly, for a split second, I was disappointed.
Right.
But I know that's them just trying to just
Try.
re-emphasize, yeah, that maybe he's not the most attractive, but he is the smartest. So I'm not a fan of that look. I definitely
No.
like this type, a little bit more fierce and confident, but
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, Donnie's got to look like a huge dork. What's that about?
The movies that came out in 14 and 16, I actually enjoyed. I know a lot of people were like hating on them for a while, but I actually enjoyed those.
Are you talking about the Michael Bay ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I went to the movie theaters with my brothers to go see this when it came out because we hadn't had a Ninja Turtle movie in forever, right?
Right.
Super hyped to go see it. I don't care if this goes around social media, but I did not leave the theater feeling disgusted or
No.
really upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Being around more turtle fans, yes, I feel like my opinion of the movie is starting to get swayed.
Yeah.
And I understand what people are talking about, the things that they were upset about, the look. What else were they upset about? I mean, just the whole how it was put together. I didn't think it was a great movie.
No.
I didn't any of them. There's two of them, right?
Two.
Or was this three?
There's
two of them. I didn't think they were horrible, but I didn't think they were amazing either. I just thought it was an interesting representation of the turtles.
I try to find in these like movies like that, like the Transformers and the G.I. Joe movies, I try to find like the harm in them because there's a little bit of charm.
Sure.
And like the second of the Michael Bay movies, they gave you like Casey Jones, which Stephen Amell did a pretty good job as Casey.
Yeah.
And Bebop and Rocksteady, and then you had Krang and the Technodrome. And I'm like, okay, they're trying, but I get it too. It is not what I think we get caught up in what we grew up on.
Sure.
And it kind of changes.
Right. And I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
I have spoken to a lot of younger Ninja Turtle fans.
Oh, okay.
And they don't hate it. So like what you said, we grew up with the 90s movies, the 80s Turtles, and we're kind of looking for that. And that's not what we got. It was more catered towards his type of movies.
Yes.
I don't know. It's okay. If you guys want to send me hate mail, I'm not saying I love it. I'm just saying I don't think it was terrible.
Right.
No, and if you try to watch like the 90s movies or even the 80s cartoons, like, it can be hard at times because
yes, so cheesy.
We adored it as children, and as adults, it's different. So he couldn't put that type of movie out right now.
I just watched Secret of the Ooze again, and I'm like, wow, this is really bad.
And that was my favorite of all three. It was
mine too. It was mine too. Even
I watched it the other day when they came out, when Netflix was like, boom, here's all of them, and I was just like binge through it. And there was, doesn't matter. Okay, I love those movies.
Oh, I do too. I mean, getting that Vanilla Ice dance going at the end of the movie.
Right? Go Ninja Go, like that's classic.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Apparently, he still performs that at concerts.
I think that's all he has, right? That
That
and
Nice Ice
the Ice
Baby,
Ice
yeah,
Baby.
yeah. So, so your collection, I've seen some pictures on your Instagram. I was jealous. There was the one picture you laying down surrounded by turtle toys,
Yes.
and you have my like holy grail. I want the Technodrome. Never had it as a kid. I need it now. Is this your original collection, or is this like you bought these again as an adult, like the most of us have?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can because it's like in
Absolutely.
my head, but when I try to say it, okay, so yeah, my collection, I guess,
Yeah.
originated from the toys that I actually grew up with,
Right.
right? The Technodrome, if my brother ever watches this, it was his, but he left it at my house, so it's mine.
I think that
Um,
works. Yeah, that's how it
yeah,
works.
right. I asked him to come claim it for years. He never did.
Right.
But we played with, all that stuff together. So
Mhm.
um the turtle van, and I call it turtle van, but it's turtle wagon, the
I
blimp,
call
the
it the
turtle
turtle van too.
helicopter. Yeah, it's a turtle van,
It's
right?
turtle van.
Those are all, from my childhood. So they're
Nice.
missing pieces and they're not perfect, but they're valuable to me.
Right.
I love
Absolutely.
them. So most of it is just my original stuff. And then once I realized that I could F off adult money, I started getting into like the statues and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I just really like the art of the turtles. So I wouldn't say my collection is that I have a lot of the new stuff like Super 7 and NECAs. I don't have a lot of those. I have the Donatellos,
Mhm.
but I don't have, like the Mondo Gecko, Super Sevens, and all that kind of stuff because I have the original Mondo Gecko, and my heart just does not have a need for the newer version of it. I'm stuck in my old ways. I don't know what to tell you. Like
Oh, I
I'm
don't blame you
old.
at all. Yeah, I've been rebuilding my childhood collection because I lost out on everything I had.
Lost
So
out.
yeah, I mean it was all gone. It got damaged in the flood. So everything that I had as a kid is gone. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. So I have been rebuilding. So
Okay.
I'm starting with what I had as a kid and then going to work on the wish list items of like, okay, I wish I had this. I wish I had, so right now, and I'm cheating a little bit. I have the four turtles. In my collection, I'm very picky about like
Are
me buying
these
things.
opened or unopened? Doesn't matter.
They're open.
Okay.
They're all loose figures. My rule for buying these again is like they have to have something with them. Like I can't just have like a figure with like no weapons, no. So this has
Oh,
been
okay.
quite a journey. Um, so the guys at House of Heroes, who I talked about earlier, they got me started on it with the four brothers, Shredder, Splinter, and the four brothers had their regular weapons. Splinter has just his little cape thing, and Shredder has his cape thing. But I bought the re-release Turtle Wave can that just came out last year from Walmart, and I'm using that in my display with my vintage.
Okay. I respect it.
Kind of cheating there, but I just don't want to pay $400 for a party wagon. That's where I'm at with it.
First of all, it's not even 400. It's damn near
Yeah, it is.
$500.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm just like, why?
Right.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
And to the hardcore collectors that just have to have everything, like I respect you guys, like
Yeah,
go
no.
get it.
Mhm.
I don't need it. I have a turtle van. It's missing the guns. I think it has one gun, it's jacked up.
Right.
But I love it.
Yeah, why not? Like it works just the same. I mean, it's a little bit brighter colors than the rest of my figures, but
Sure.
I mean, it is what it is.
I think the value, right, they say is in the eye of the beholder.
Right,
So
absolutely. Like
if
if I ever
you
have to
must
sell
have a
it,
new one,
right. If
go
I ever
get
have
it.
to sell it, I'm not going to say it's the original turtle wagon. I'm going to say it's
Right.
the re-release. But yeah, like I had figures that when I bought them, like I had a Casey Jones, I had nothing with them. Like this is
He
and
didn't
he
have his
just
little
called.
backpack.
He didn't have nothing now. So I bought
Not
a new
even a
one.
hockey stick. You didn't have nothing.
I didn't have anything. I bought a new one from a guy on Instagram. There's all those sellers on Instagram, so I always buy their stuff. I bought, what else? I replaced my Baxter Stockman because he just had his arms. He didn't have the wings. He didn't have his fly swatter. So I'm like, okay. So I replaced that.
Get that.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm looking over at my collection and I see like what's driving me nuts right now is I have a wing nut with nothing. I have the baseball Raphael with nothing. I'm like, I need his bat. I need it.
You definitely have to have his bat.
I definitely need to have his bat. And then like I have like a lot of the sports ones. I love, it's really weird, and I'm one of the few people. I love the different variations of the turtles that came out. Like when they did like sports ones.
Oh, right.
And Donatello.
Yes.
Actually, Donatello has the best variation figures.
He does.
Out of everybody.
I'm not trying to be biased, but he really does. Like Undercover Don and Cowboy Don are like my favorite Donatello.
Cowboy Don is my favorite.
Right?
I bought him again.
Gangster.
He has the candy cane in his mouth.
Yeah, he does.
Amazing.
Which now, my Cowboy Donatello still has the candy cane in his mouth, which
that's
is
perfect because a lot of people break that off. Do you have superhero Donatello?
I do. I love him and his big blue. It's blue and red, right?
He's black, all black.
Oh, wait.
Mikey's blue and red.
I'm thinking of Mikey. Yes.
Mikey's blue and red. Donatello's all black.
I don't know. Maybe I don't.
Oh, we got to fix that.
I do. I got to go back and look at my thing now.
If you don't have it, you let me know.
I should have him. No, I should have him. Why the hell was I thinking of Michelangelo blue and red though?
Now Donatello looks more like
he's Batman. Doing the Captain America thing.
Yeah. And then NECA's doing a re-release of superhero Donatello with the Loot Crate stuff they do.
I saw that. NECA is just coming for our pockets right now.
They are
out of control.
They are, because Playmates said they're pretty much done. After the last Ronin figure, they're like, we're not doing anything really new. We're just going to re-release stuff.
Re-release. Yeah, see, I get...
Target's getting the sports 4-pack. It's going to be...
I saw that. I think that's really cool. I still have all 4 of mine with their stuff. Leo with his little football and everything.
I have, yeah.
I saw that and I thought that was really neat. So I guess that's the direction that they're going, is they're going to start just re-releasing a whole bunch of the sets. Yeah.
I got the 4 brothers from Walmart. I got them from different places, but I didn't pay over retail, which makes me happy.
I don't know how you guys are finding these. Like my Walmarts, my Targets, they never have anything ever.
Well, neither do mine. This is why you got to like rely on other collectors that aren't going to screw you over. So my RAF came from that House of Heroes store. One dude was on a trip. He found it. He knew it was the last one I needed.
Wow.
He's like, hey, here you go. He got me that in the turtle van. Didn't pay over retail for that.
So cool.
Everything else is just like finding collectors who have stuff that aren't going to charge you over retail. Because I get like I hate
go to Target.
Yeah, like Target and Walmart, they have nothing. Like, because I've been.
They don't even have a sticker on the shelf where they could have been.
No, I didn't have that either. I did not have that either. I got Leo and Mikey from Walmart's website.
Okay.
I just like was one day just on the app. I just put in TMNT figures, and they both were there for $12.97. So
wow. I think I looked for something on the Walmart app, and I don't even know why I'm on the app.
Their shipping's terrible because like they came in boxes they definitely don't fit in, and like cards. Yeah, it's not fun. No, not at all.
That's terrible.
So swinging into Turtles, into your next love of retro video game. What is your favorite turtle video?
My favorite turtle what?
Video game.
Turtles in Time.
Oh, it's a good one.
Dude, right? Turtles in Time was the game like when you went to like the pizza restaurant and they had the Turtles in Time arcade. Like if you could get on that machine to play it, because everyone wanted to freaking play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was Turtles in Time, that game of how they just the graphics and action and all that kind of stuff was just freaking awesome. Like, you remember the first level when you get into the Technodrome, you got to throw the foot soldiers at the screen?
Yeah.
we had never done anything like that
No.
in a game before.
Mm-mm.
Like it was so cool, and it's still like a super fun game to play right now. So I play Turtles in Time at least a few times a month. Like I love it.
Do you have the arcade one-up machine, or do you are you playing it on an
I
emulator?
do. It's
Do you?
actually right here. I don't know if my camera's gonna mess up.
That's
If you
all
can
right.
see it. There it is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So I have the first one, right? And I'm in limited space. So when they came out with the second one, I was like,
Yeah, I'm thinking
I
about
can't
doing the
sell this,
I'm thinking about
for what
doing the
I paid.
countertop one. Yeah, that just came out.
Yeah. And then they came out with this exact same one, right? But it's online, it's playable.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's like $700. I think
it
it's
is.
$699 or something like that.
Comes
Yeah.
with a stool too. That's why.
Oh, does it come with the
Comes with like a
stool?
bar stool. Yeah.
I had to buy my stool separately. But I play this machine all the time. I love it. And I'm upset that they didn't come up with the online idea earlier.
Right.
But when this came out, dude, this was hard to get.
It
Like
was. It really was.
I think I had a collector that hooked me up and said, I found you one if you want to get it. And I was like, please take care of me, because it was
Yeah.
hard to get it.
It is. It's hard. That's why you got to seriously. You have to rely on other collectors that aren't gonna take
Try to
advantage of this.
screw you over, yeah.
What other retro games do you like playing?
Good.
You're good now. You cut
Okay.
off. I'll edit that out.
What other retro games do I like playing?
Yep.
I like a lot of retro games. So
Perfect. Now, do you remember that first Turtles game on the original Nintendo? With like where you had to do the underwater level that nobody could beat.
I am trying to figure out why. Wait for that to go. I got the door open. It's a beautiful day. Why I love that game so much. That game is so hard.
It
Like
is.
there's nothing fun about that
No,
game.
not at all.
It was one of the most stressful games that I've ever played. That and
Right.
Battletoads, which I also
Oh
adore.
yeah.
I adore Battletoads, and that game is also hard. So
It
hard.
is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of Nintendo games in general were just so difficult, but we loved them. So it is what it is. I've never beaten the original Ninja Turtle game.
No, I've never did either.
And I don't think I ever will. I will go to my grave without having ever beaten that game. I have not tried it though with Game Genie, right?
Oh yeah.
A lot of people played it with Game Genie, but what does it do? Does you just get like 10 extra lives, or does it, you can have like unlimited continues or something?
I think it's
know.
10 extra lives.
Yeah, that's not enough for me. I need unlimited lives.
Yeah, really. I mean, the underwater levels were tough. I think the tank level was a rough one too. I always kept getting run over by the tank. That was my.
Yeah, I always would get run over by the tank. I did see a YouTube video the other day on this guy who was guiding you on the easiest way to get through the levels.
Yeah.
Which was very helpful, and I'm going to attempt that one of these weekends when I have some time alone. And then I also watch a couple speedrunners that go through the game.
Oh,
I'm not a
geez.
speedrunner,
No.
but I mean they show you some shortcuts, how
Yeah.
to skip through some stuff. But I just don't feel like stressing myself out right now.
No, I don't blame you at all. I do not blame you at all. What's your favorite retro console? Like, do you like Nintendo? Do you like Super Nintendo, Sega?
Oh gosh, no. Everyone is always asking me what's the deal with me and Sega.
Oh,
I didn't grow up with Sega, so I never had a Sega household.
I was the same way. I was Nintendo.
Nintendo, right?
Yep.
And then I'm just gonna throw that out there for all the people that are talking mess. Is Nintendo or does Sega have a console that's to this day that you can play that's current? I think there's a Nintendo Switch, but there isn't
Nintendo
a
Switch.
Sega Switch or anything like that. There's
Sega
games on Nintendo.
Yes, Sega is done making consoles,
which is a good thing. I think it's a good movie to watch. What is it, Console Wars or
yeah, I watched
something
that.
like that, where the fall of Sega and why you guys were saying Sega does what Nintendo don't. Like, dude, stop. But anyways, Super Nintendo is my favorite console.
Mhm.
I grew up on Nintendo, right? I'm an
Yep.
80s baby, but I really felt like Super Nintendo, the games that came out, how the platform played was just a game changer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you got a controller with way more buttons than you were originally used to.
Yes. X
Yep.
and Y.
X and Y. And then I think they had the top button on that one.
That's right. And the
Right.
buttons.
And
Yeah,
the
we
buttons
were
on
doing
top.
big things, dude. We were
Oh
doing
yeah.
a lot.
Early 90s, we were blowing it out. That's what we were doing.
Is Super Nintendo one of your favorites or what?
It is. It actually has my all-time favorite video game on it, which is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
That's a good one.
Absolute favorite game of all time.
That's the game of all time.
My favorite game of all time. I could play that game all the time. That's what actually like makes the Switch worth it. Is they have all the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and now they just put Nintendo 64 games on there, on their online, and their online's only like $5, where like
Yeah.
Xbox is like 15 or whatever.
Right. And for you Sega fans, they added Sega games as
They did.
well.
Yeah.
Nintendo is it's the boss.
So
right?
which system are you gonna get the new Ninja Turtle game for?
Which I cannot wait for it to come out.
Just give us a release date at this point. Like,
yeah, it's probably going to be December.
it probably is at this point.
Whatever. I'm going to get that game.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that it should be cross-platform.
I hope so.
But I will have it on my Xbox because I like to play my Xbox quite a bit. I think the graphics will probably look better than Nintendo, but I will also have it on my Switch so that I can play it while I'm on the go.
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
And then I'll probably also get hard copies for both systems. I like to play digital games and just have it unopened, right? Because this is going to be legendary.
Right. I mean, it's already looking great. They just need to add Casey Jones as a playable character.
Why isn't Casey Jones a character right now?
April is
going nuts again. Hopefully he'll go quiet.
Yeah, April's a playable character, so it's Splinter, but where's Casey?
I know everyone wants to see Casey Jones.
Absolutely.
Well, not everyone, but I think that would be something, well, even with April and with Splinter, but that would make sense, right? Since he always often fought with the turtles, that we would be able to play with him. Maybe they'll drop him as a DLC if he's not an original release.
That would probably be all right. That'd be all right.
Yeah, they'll definitely get their money on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see, what else can we talk about? So we got an office sign in the background. This show, of course, named after my cat, who's also named after The Office. So
if I can't get my finger, there it is. I got
Dwight.
Yeah.
Just saw that. Oh wow.
When he was doing what was his name? Was this your impish or whatever?
Belsnickel.
Yes.
So what is your favorite Office episode?
Oh my gosh. My favorite, dude. I probably binge watch The Office like nonstop. I adore that show so much. On my Twitch channel, you can get points if you catch me with a "that's what she said" before I catch it. Like I love it. Let's see. What's the just coming off the top of my head right now? Do you remember the episode when it was winter and Jim and Dwight were throwing snowballs in the office? Right. And then Jim had to go outside with all the snowmen and he was freaked out. I love that one. I love it when they went to Dwight's farm when they stayed there.
Oh
and
yeah.
When they spent the night, like there's so I love that show so much. I really wish they would do a comeback reunion or something just to see them all together. I don't know, what was your favorite episode?
Oh man. Actually, have you watched, before I get into that, because it's kind of changing, have you gone on Peacock yet and watched the extended episodes they put on there?
I did not know they had extended episodes on Peacock. Are you serious?
First 4 seasons right now. They have these extended episodes. that aren't on the DVD. Like these scenes are not on the DVDs because I have the DVD set behind me.
Yes, so do I. They're not on
And
the set. Oh my gosh.
no. And like the episode where they put Dwight in charge of picking the healthcare,
Oh yeah.
they give Jim a whole new list of like diseases to name to Dwight, and I was losing it because and I'm like, why did they cut this out? Because this was perfect.
That sounds like gold.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this kind of changes things. I loved some of the earlier stuff, but like that one episode, and it's the one line from this one episode in the later season. It's when they try to get Todd Packer fired.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but every time I hear this line, I lose it. It's when Dwight or Jim suggests calling the radio station to bring on Justin Bieber, and Dwight says, "Who is Justice Bieber?" I lose it every time. I don't know why, but I just lose it every time. Dwight, because he says it's so straight faced.
He's serious.
He is serious.
He's very serious.
Bieber. But we're rewatching it now again with like the new extended episodes. Oh, some of them are just hysterical.
Sad now because there was no reason for me to get Peacock because I watch the same stuff all the time, really. The same reruns of the same shows.
I do too.
And I have The Office. Had I known that they were extended episodes, oh my gosh.
That's the only reason why we have it, is
now
basically for that. Yeah, I mean, just watch through it and then cancel.
Oh my gosh. I was listening to the podcast of the best friends, Pam and
Angela.
Yes.
Yeah, their podcast.
They had talked about some stuff that had got cut out, right? But I would love to see it.
Some of it's really, really funny because like it makes the first season, which is so slow when you watch it back now, it makes that so much better to watch than it was when you like watch it on DVD.
Dude, so every episode for the first 4 seasons
is extended, and then they're going to keep releasing the rest of the seasons.
Very cool. But yeah, when I'm done, I will be paying for another subscription.
I know, like everybody cut cable to save money, but then they all pay for these subscription services, and
we're still like saving some money, but it's getting closer. Like,
right,
we have like YouTube TV, right? And so they keep adding stuff. Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's gonna end up being the same.
Yeah, it really is. It's just online instead of having a cable box.
You know what? So you asked me, but I'm curious because I want to know if we're gonna fight or not. Who's your favorite turtle?
It's Leonardo.
We're fighting, dude.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Leonardo has been my favorite turtle. It did start as a color. Blue is my favorite color, but then I was also just really like swords, so it just kind of made sense.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense.
In my adult collecting, like I've always been like a bad guy type of person too, and I love the Shredder. And the Shredder is like one of my all-time favorite villains across all platforms. So I have a Shredder. And like you have a Donatello collection, I have a Shredder. You have a
particular Shredder? Is it a particular version of Shredder?
I did like the Uncle Phil voiced version of Shredder, the original cartoon. I do love Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze, even though he's only there for like a minute and a half. I just thought he had such a cool look to him. I'm looking at Shredder shelf now. Do you remember that old figure? Like he's crouched down with like his hand. It looks like a 90s rap album cover.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that at all.
So, okay. I will admit this, but I want to explain though why this happened. I just like recently started to really read the comics.
Oh, they're so good.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm starting with the original, the Mirage comics, Eastman and Laird's Ninja Turtles, right? So don't shame me, right? Because I took me, first of all, as an adult, for me to really, I needed to read it now.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those issues, I think it's like the very first issue or the second issue or whatever the issue is. It's early. It's the one where they supposedly thought that they killed Shredder, right?
That's the very first issue.
That's the first issue, right? Mm-hmm. When he comes out, when they see him, he's in that crouched position. And that's when I was like, holy, That's why that toy looks
Yep.
like that, because I was wondering the same thing. Like, why is dude standing like that?
Actually, have you watched on Netflix The Toys That Made Us?
Yes.
There's a Ninja Turtle episode. They actually explain it
Yes.
there. So the turtles, the 87 turtles we all grew up on, they are only 5'4".
Yeah, they're little guys.
They're little guys. Shredder is 6'3". So they wanted to keep him in scale with the turtles. So they had him crouched down. So one, he'd fit in the packaging, but still look like he's bigger than the turtles.
Dude, they should have made him every bit of 6 foot. That
Right.
wouldn't. I did not realize it until, again,
Yeah.
late bloomer on the comics, but
Mm-hmm.
realizing how the turtles stood next to like April and Casey.
Yeah.
You know, like they were little.
They were.
How dope would that have been though, too? If the Shredder, if he came out like, you know, just a little bit taller to just help him just look more
right.
scarier.
Menacing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause he's like, yeah, he's real crouched down. I don't know how I feel.
Very, very, very low. But yeah, I had my aha moment when I read that issue and saw him.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what's up with that stance, dude.
But also, like, he doesn't match his cartoon appearance at all. Like,
No.
he's shirtless and he has a cape on and he's in the crouch position.
He doesn't look any. Well, they had what? How many airs did they say was in that series? Like, going back and watching the cartoons, the 87 cartoons now, and seeing all of the mistakes.
Oh God, yeah.
And the errors, the wrong colors, the wrong top voice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy what
my favorite one, I think, is Shredder. Shredder is getting ready to tell. I was distracted, so I can't even think who it was. It wasn't like Bebop and Rocksteady. It was just something else telling him to like go attack the turtles, right? And then the next scene that they show him, he doesn't have any pants on. and then boom, the next split, he has his pants on. I was just thinking, how did we miss that, right?
So much stuff got missed in those days. They were just like, whatever. Kids won't notice. But now we like watch it back as adults. I'm like, oh God.
Clearly, I noticed when he didn't have any pants on. I was like, whoa, this is a different show right now. He was on his knees and everything. And I was like, okay, my God.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, they, you know, the original movie, like the 90s movie, that Shredder was really like that darker tone for that first 90s movie was
he was scary to me.
Mhm.
I was scared. I thought that Shredder really meant his, you know, he was about business.
He was. And I wish I had the NECA figure of him. I have 2 of the Super Shredders that NECA put out just because they're such cool figures.
You mean the one with his face with like when he's a Rakusaki or a Rakusaki?
No, so they made an actual like TMNT 1 Shredder in the red outfit. But I have
yeah. Okay, yeah. That figure is really dope. He looks spot on from the movie. Yeah, I didn't get him. I ended up getting the Super Shredder.
Which one did you get? Because there's 3 Super Shredder NECA figures.
I have no idea. I gave him away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I
tell you that my collection or what I like to get is centered around this guy.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm serious. Like, I have absolutely no urge unless it's just, it has to really just like grab me.
Out. Yeah.
You know, like I almost got the Bebop and Rocksteady where they're in their little like bunny outfits. You know, like,
the Blue Crate ones. Yeah.
Those are dope.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have a need for them.
I think you need to at least get the NECA Turtles in Time figures that they put out. So you have some, don't you?
Oh wait, the Turtles in Time. I have Donatello.
That's all. Yeah, I guess that's all you need.
That's all that I need. And now they're getting ready to come out with the Secret of the Ooze
set. Right? Yeah, set. I need that.
Is that absolutely a set? Because
yes. So there's going to be a set of the 4 turtles. They're going to be all 4 turtles, so it's going to be expensive. And then they're doing an accessory set on top of it that has like extra face pieces. NECA's really cool with this, with like you can swap out face pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Okay.
do an accessory pack
When I saw
because
the picture, I wasn't
yeah,
really sure.
yeah, it's gonna be an actual 4-pack of the turtle. I missed out on the first movie turtle, so I'll take these ones.
You don't have any of the first ones?
I got into NECA and like
There
I
you
haven't.
go.
NECA is between NECA and Super 7. I'll go NECA for price because Super
For
7
pricing.
because Super 7's expensive. Like Super 7's $50 a figure if you can get them not scalped.
Oh, okay. See, I got my Donatello Super 7 from Amazon,
Oh,
and I paid $49.99 or something like that for him,
yeah.
right? And I was just like, okay,
But
I'm
see,
gonna
like
pay
if
the markup, right? Because it
mhm.
wasn't from Super 7, but it doesn't sound like it was that far off from what they
But
originally priced.
like the NECA solo figures are only like $34.
Okay, so like $15 more, yeah.
Because I bought the Muckman that was at Target, and I bought the Chrome Dome that was at Target, and they were both 30.
No.
Yeah, he's like right behind. Oh no, I took him down. But yeah, Chrome Dome's huge. Like they put him in scale. Like they made him giant from his episode.
I did really think that was super cool when people were actually showing how they were, comparison in size.
Mhm.
It's pretty freaking dope.
So like it took me a while to realize too that like NECA is doing the cartoons and the movies, and Super 7's doing the old action figures.
Oh, you mean
Like
as far as
that's their
toys go?
style. Yeah. So NECA at Target's doing all the cartoons, at Walmart's doing all the movies.
Oh, interesting. I did
Mhm.
not know that. So when they do this, I'm a lazy collector, I
That's
guess.
okay.
So like
That's okay.
I will pay more just because I just don't want to deal with the bullshit sometimes. Sorry, I
Right.
just cussed again.
That's all right.
I'm trying. I was about to say, but these Turtles in Time, is this exclusive to pre-ordering from NECA?
No, I think they'll do a pre-order first. The problem with pre-ordering from NECA is you just never know when you're gonna get it.
So I've had people tell me they had their pre-orders, and then like 3 months before it was getting ready to come out, they just emailed them and said, just kidding, no, you're not on the pre-order list.
Right. I've heard that, or I've heard people finding it in store before they got the pre-order.
Oh,
Like walking in a Target and then there's Foot Soldier or Krang or whatever after
gotcha.
they pre-ordered it. So I don't know. Like I can't justify, like if I'm gonna pay that much for a figure right now, I want to just finish building my vintage before I start jumping into this
I get you.
expensive stuff because it's getting pricey.
It's getting very pricey, especially what they're getting ready to come out right now. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like my collection is chill until the sideshow last Ronin statue comes out, and I got
That's
to figure
crazy.
out where I'm going to put it because I know that thing is going to be massive.
Mhm.
And it's not going to fit in my glass case. Most of my Donatello stuff is like they're all in glass cases.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna fit in there. And I don't really want to. I don't tell people how much I'm paying for that thing because everyone's like, "Are you serious?" Yes, and not only am I paying that much for that thing, I'm paying for that, and that's not even Donatello.
No,
I mean, he's
it's
gonna
not.
be in there.
He's gonna be in there, yeah. That
But
was a
still, he's
weird
not in there the
selection.
way that I want him to be in there.
No. I was surprised when I found out who the actual last turtle was, because I'm like, that is not who I thought would survive out of all 4 of them.
I was
Spoiler alert if you don't
very.
know. It's Michelangelo. Yeah.
You said it.
I said
I mean,
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. It's
I
Michelangelo.
mean, if you don't know by now, I feel like that's your fault.
Right.
So yeah, my first impression, I thought that was bull crap.
Mhm.
All right. That's dumb. But I also do not follow, not yet. I have started collecting, but I haven't got into them yet because I'm reading all the Mirage comics.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go into the Archie series comics, which
Oh yeah,
is
the Archie comics. Yeah.
gonna be more my pace. And then I'm going to get into the whole IDW and stuff like that. So all the people that read those, I guess, have been saying like throughout that series that Michelangelo has been proving that he is probably the best turtle to be the last Ronin, but I'm biased and I think that's bullcrap, and I think it's done, especially how Donatello goes out in the last Ronin. I'm not a fan.
Right. So you're not gonna like the, I don't know if you'll like the, because for a while there they don't do Donnie very well.
Yeah, I'm hearing that, and that's why I'm reading it last,
Yes.
because I feel like as much I'll talk a lot of stuff
Hmm.
that I should have somewhat of an educated reason for some of the stuff that I say. And I don't want to be
Right.
completely biased without having read it, but from what I've been told about the IDW series, I'm not going to be a fan. And
No.
then I have both volumes of Urban Legends 1 and 2, which I hear is even darker and
Hmm.
even more disturbing. So I'm gonna get to it, but I'm not a fan. I already know which issue I'm gonna throw up on, and it's
Yep.
issue 44.
Yep. I was waiting for that.
Yeah. And just so I can put this on record, I was not a fan of Rocksteady before I knew that Rocksteady was gonna do that to my guy.
No.
Rocksteady is my least favorite villain. I hate him.
Hmm.
If I
Yeah,
ever catch him on the street, dude,
it's on.
he's
It's
done.
on. That's it. Now, some of the crossovers IDW did with Turtles, like the crossover with Ghostbusters, was really good.
Okay.
And then I not read the crossover with Power Rangers, even though I should, because being big on Power Rangers as a kid too,
Yeah.
like that's a dream crossover. But I skipped that one. The
I
Ghostbuster one.
I got I went to my very first Comic-Con 2020 or 2019.
Mhm.
No, it had to been 2020, right? It was right before COVID cracked
Everything
off.
shut down. Yeah.
Um, and they had this exclusive Ninja Turtle Power Ranger issue exclusive for the Comic-Con. So I got it, right?
Yeah.
And then me going into like collector mode, like, oh, CGC was there. So I was like, I'm gonna just get it graded.
Yeah.
So I got it graded. But I got it graded before I even read it. So I gotta find it. I don't even know how to go find it, but it looks dope.
You can get a collection. Like you can get like the trade paperback pretty cheap.
Okay. Yeah. I did not think that through. I got that, and I got it's a hard metallic cover for the issue, and it's Jenica, right? And I'm interested in
Yeah.
learning more about her, which I also cannot read now because it's graded.
Yeah, it's weird that they brought out a new female turtle that they're trying to get us to forget about Venus de Milo from back in the 90s.
I already forgot about her.
Yeah, so I've not read too much up on Jenica. I'm kind of curious to see.
I'm very curious. I don't have a whole lot of information, but she sounds like she's got a super dope backstory.
Yeah.
And that she's I want to say like a good representation of a female Ninja Turtle. I'm not sure what year was that when the Turtles and Venus came out?
That was
With
like
that
mid
show?
90s because they crossed over with some form of the Power Rangers.
Oh,
It
they
wasn't
did
the
with the
original.
Power Rangers.
It wasn't like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was one of the weird seasons after. I think it was like mid 90s. They did that live action with Venus, and it was
I
not
want
well
to
liked.
say that I was like in high school or something, because I missed it.
Yeah.
I
You
missed
didn't
that
miss much though. You didn't miss
whole
much.
entire series. Yeah, and I'm
Mhm.
hearing that I didn't, and just by looking at her,
It was
I'm
bad.
not a fan. Like,
No.
I don't know. I'm not coming up with a solution, but I just don't think that was it.
No. I see what they were doing because like Power Rangers had female character, and
Yeah,
they always tried to get like the one female on there.
it was a good effort.
It was. They just
Failed.
poor execution. Yes. Yes. See, I got out at like I love the original Turtle cartoon. I did not watch that live action. I didn't get back into it until that 2007 animated movie that they did. It was a while. It was like I skipped all that
Okay,
stuff.
yeah.
Now I'm rewatching the '03 cartoon now because I've heard that that was like fantastic.
I
But
have
that
see, I missed 2003, and I'm fine with saying this. Look, I was in college. Okay, so
I
I
just
wasn't
started.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't watching Ninja Turtles. I was interested in other things. Um, but I am going to go back and watch that series because I've heard really good things about it. I just started watching the 2012
I
series,
love that series.
and I don't know why I was on strike for so long to watch it.
That's a
I
good series.
was sucked in from the very first episode. I am just such a fan of how they did that series so far, and I'm not even that far
Mhm.
into it yet.
Yeah, it was really good. And I mean, the voice acting cast is good. They changed Leonardo's voice, I think, halfway.
Oh, do they?
They do.
So
It
I'm
either,
not, like I said, I'm not a fan of Leonardo.
right.
But I just felt that all the characters in the 2012 series so far was
They've been
very
great.
well represented,
They are.
all of them.
Mhm.
And I thought it was also a good, healthy mix between the corny jokes that we like and
Yep.
the more like modern jokes. Like
Yes.
sometimes the way April be looking at him, she just be like, what's wrong with you? It's
Mhm.
hilarious, and
Mhm.
I just think they did a really good job with that.
Now, I the only thing from the '03 cartoon I watched before starting the series is they did a movie called Turtles Forever, and it crossed over the '03 cartoon, the '87 cartoon, and the comic books all in one episode.
Wow, I haven't
Yeah,
seen that yet.
you should watch it. It's pretty cool.
I think
Though
I've
they
seen pictures where they're together and they're like,
yes,
yeah, okay,
and then they actually cross them over in the 2012 cartoons. So it's kind of cool.
cool.
In the oath in that movie, they kind of make the '87 ones like super, even like Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady, like make them like over the top, like goofy, but it fits what we knew.
Right.
But no, like the 2012 cartoon, I thought it was a great because I that was my the '07 movie came out, that animated movie. That was really good. And then the 2012 cartoon came out, and I was like, oh, I'm back. This is this is what we needed from these guys.
Also what I watched late was obviously I have no shame to admit this.
That's all right.
The 2007 TMNT, the movie that came
Yeah,
out, I just watched it.
it's really
Like
good. You didn't like it?
I I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. What I didn't like was the very limited lines that Donatello had in the
Mhm.
movie. It was just a
It
movie
always
about
seemed
Leonardo and Raphael.
it's always seemed to be Leonardo and Raphael focused. Weird. And they're always button
I
heads.
don't care about Leonardo and Raphael. Okay. And it was like they didn't even need Donatello. Like
Mhm.
I think he literally had less than 10 lines.
I did like that it started as them being apart and coming back together, and like that journey, like they were broken up at one point and then they all had to find their way back. I
It
didn't
was
like
a good story though. It
there
was
was
a
no
really good
Shredder.
story.
I didn't like there was no Shredder,
There
but
was no Shredder. That's
no
right.
Shredder. It was funny to hear Captain America voice Casey Jones, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer was April.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good movie. I just wish that Donatello could have had a little bit
a little
more
bit
of
more
a
in it.
part in it. That would have been
Mhm.
nice.
I haven't watched the new cartoon that's on Nickelodeon right now, The Rise of TMNT. I've not watched that.
So someone's gonna have to sell me on that show because I'm having a hard time just getting past the look of them.
Yeah,
They don't even look like turtles. They look like aliens.
that's true. And in this one, Raph's the leader.
See, and now I definitely have no reason. How is Roth the leader when he cannot control his emotions? How is
Right,
that possible?
right. I don't know. Yeah, I
I
don't.
think Raphael is always in the category of that he could be a leader if he could
Mhm.
control his censor me, his shit. But he can't. So he can't be leader. That's
No, not at all. No.
you watch it and let me know if I
I
should
will. I'll
watch
check in
it.
with you. I'll check in with you in a few months. I don't even know. I think it's on Nickelodeon, but I don't know.
I'm not a fan
Mm-mm.
of that. Why are we drastically changing how they look? Why can't
Right,
they just look like turtles?
right, right. That's what I'm wondering. Like I look at Seth Rogen's new look for all his turtles, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like I don't get it.
Gosh, everyone was like, ah, because
Is
you
that
want to
awkward?
root for him, right?
Yay.
We're gonna root for him. He's taking
Yeah.
his time. He's funny, so I feel like the movie should have some adult humor, as well as cater to the fans who grew up with the turtles. But I will tell you, just seeing first look at him, it was a sock to the chest. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, no, not a good look. I'll wait to see more of it. But yeah, first impression was not.
Because did you see the little trailer that they had?
I have not watched that yet. I need.
The little trailer that they had came out before that, and they didn't look like that.
Mm,
They look different.
hmm.
So that look, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
And then they put out these pictures, and everybody's like, "What happened?"
So we came up with the audible last decision. I don't know. Just like how I did with the Michael Bay movie, when I go see it, I will be completely open-minded,
Right.
excited
Yeah.
because it's been a while,
Mhm.
and it's gonna have to be like a football penalty, right? Like in order to overturn it, there has to be absolute knowledge that the penalty is incorrect, right? I'm gonna need absolute information to make me
Yep.
say it was terrible.
Right.
I'm going in there with positive
I'll go
positive
in. Yeah.
mind.
Just go in with a blank mind, see what happens. But yeah, right
Yes.
now I'm like, but
He said
they're.
he was gonna represent the 80s crew. So
Let's hope. Let's hope.
depends on
Eh,
how much weed he's smoking, I guess.
Right. I
How
think that's
high
the.
he is.
I think that's the funny thing though, is like everything we grew up on is somehow coming back into style now. Like,
Yes.
Turtles. They just put out that Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger movie trailer that's coming out.
Right? I don't know if I'm gonna go see that in theaters.
They're streaming
I
it. They're
Oh, are
streaming it
they
on Disney
streaming
Plus.
it? Okay, yeah, because I wasn't a huge Chippendale fan, but I was a Chippendale fan for
I
sure.
remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Like, why am I thinking of Tailspin or stuff like that?
Tailspin. Yeah.
DuckTales or whatever,
DuckTales. Yeah.
all that stuff. I was a huge fan of it, watched it all faithfully.
Yeah. We were Disney kids. Disney was a big
Were
part of our childhood. Like, yeah, we had Turtles. We had. What else did we grow up on? Transformers. I don't know if you got into anything else
I
growing
did.
up.
I got into Transformers,
Hmm.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Just going off of all types of old stuff. Yeah, that's how old I am. I just look amazing. Um, but yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah.
Um, good gosh, I don't know. I could go on. Did you watch Looney Tunes?
Oh yeah, Looney
Any of
Tunes,
that?
Looney Tunes, and Tiny Toons was big.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my childhood. Don't when you go on Peacock to watch The Office, avoid the new Saved by the Bell show they just put out because
They
it's
put out
not.
a new one. I
Yeah,
don't know if I could watch it because it's not going to be, Zack Slater and Screech and
yes, they make appearances. Like Slater's the gym teacher and
oh,
Jesse's something on. I think she's a guidance counselor, but like nobody else is really on it.
you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Whole
It's
new set of kids going through their whole new.
it's weird. It had its moments that were funny,
You said
but
it's weird.
it's weird because they basically set it up to where like one school closes, so they merge into Bayside, and Bayside's now like the rich preppy school that when in the old show they weren't. But yeah, they brought the Max back like one episode, and
Wow.
so they'll like throw little things in here and there that you're like, oh, okay, I remember that, but for the most part, I'm like, what am I watching? Just
Well, you
stop
haven't
remaking.
sold me, so
No,
I will be getting Peacock strictly to watch these extended episodes. I'm mad that there's footage out there that I could have seen that I have not seen of The
yeah,
Office.
it took me a while to find out, but like I think I saw it on Facebook. They're like, we have extended episodes. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh,
You know, I forgot to mention this earlier, but how much I love The Office. I actually visited Scranton and checked out the Electric City and went to like Poor Richard's
Mhm.
and was it Pizza by Alfredo or Alfredo
Oh
by
yeah,
Pizza?
Alfredo's Pizza. Yeah, the good pizza.
Yes, the good pizza. And you know what? It was damn good too. It
That's
was
good.
really good.
I,
Um,
I
we
see.
went there
I
and
grew
where
up in
else?
Pennsylvania, and I've never been to Scranton. I was on
What?
the other. Yeah, I was on the other side of the state.
You gotta just go through there. Like the people
I
in
need
that
to.
town still live off of that. Like that's their
Yeah.
hype.
What's funny though is where I live now. I'm an hour and a half ish away from the farmhouse and from TMNT one.
Are you serious?
That farmhouse is still standing,
So
and
did I see that they're selling tickets to go tour it? Is that
I think they do
available?
that. Yeah, they because it's still standing. I don't think anybody actually lives there. So like, I'm gonna make the trip at one point and just have to see this farmhouse.
Dude, I was out there and we were doing a freaking road tour and stuff. That's how we got to Scranton.
Mhm.
How did I miss? I
It's
didn't
in North.
know.
It's in North Carolina. I live in
I
South
didn't know it
Carolina.
was that
North
that it was
Carolina.
public viewing. That's dope.
There's this little town in North Carolina called Wilmington. That's where like a lot. They used to have a movie, like a full on movie studio.
Really?
So you can walk through and see like um the old TV show like Dawson's Creek was filmed there, and you can go see some of the sets from that. I think One Tree Hill was filmed there, and you could see all
Wow.
the places from there. And Ninja Turtles had some actual, besides the farmhouse, they had some of the other scenes were filmed there as well. And
Oh,
they
now I have to
substituted
go.
for New York. Yeah.
Oh, I have to go then. Yeah, I would love that. Is the house, is the farmhouse jacked up?
I mean, that movie is what, 30 some odd years old. So I don't think
No one lived there. They strictly use that house for that and that's it.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to see. Like, 'cause, I mean, I guess inside and out, it still looks the same as the movie. So
That's dope. I learned something every day.
they
And
get some friends and recreate the fire scene, and then Photoshop like a ghost
heck
version of
yeah.
somebody. And
You know what? My friends, like my friends wouldn't
yeah,
even know what to do. I would have to get my Ninja Turtle community friends
right.
to visit me and be like, dude, let's do this. Let's get it
Don't
done.
worry. Yep. So they do. They've been doing a lot of They do a lot of comedy, and the April from the first movie has been doing a lot of appearances. So she's been.
She's that's is that her only thing? Like,
Feel like she was in something else, and what else I.
because it just seems like a lot of like like the events and stuff, uh, which is fine, because I'll always know her as April.
Yeah.
Um, but like that was her claim to fame.
I know, like I almost want to pull up IMDb on her and see if she did. We're gonna do that.
Check it out.
Just check it out, see what she's done. IMDb. Because then they changed her for like the other two movies. I did not like the third Turtles movie where they were
Wasn't it the same chick from the second one?
from the second one, but that whole plot of them going to back in time.
Yeah, Turtles 3 was my least favorite movie of the three. Um, I think it was just kind of,
See, I think when I heard Turtles in Time, I was thinking like the video game.
yeah, not
And
going back in time.
not literally going back in time, but like we're gonna recreate the video game. She was in Armageddon. I mean, I don't know if you really want to live off of that one.
Oh, what character was she in I'll have to go back and look. I didn't even recognize her in Armageddon.
She was in Murder, She Wrote. I mean, come on.
Okay, so she was in some stuff. Those are
Mhm.
some Murder She Wrote. That's a show, right? So she was like in
Yeah,
a episode.
she was in a couple episodes of Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, she did like a lot of like one-off appearances in some TV shows. Oh, she was in the Halloween Town movie.
Okay, so I apologize, April. I just didn't recognize you without you being April.
I'm trying to find Armageddon. I must have scrolled past. That was like an older movie. Older now. She was Denise in Armageddon. but
I barely remember Armageddon other than the last parts.
oh yeah, you're right. I haven't really watched too much of Armageddon. Yeah, she's got like a couple. She was in that remake of Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010, but just like a one-off, like little appearance that you would never know, and that's about it.
Scary stuff, yeah, you're not gonna catch Queen G watching scary stuff.
No, no horror
I'm
movies for you.
I'm not about that life. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not for it. I don't like being scared.
No,
People try to get me to play scary games on stream. I'm not doing
no.
it. I've done it a couple times and it's too much. I just,
Mhm.
again, I'm old and the way that my heart is set up, it's just not ready for that.
No, some of the scary games aren't actually scary, but like I know the big one for streamers is like Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever. But
Yeah, that I'm not with that. Outlast, right,
oh
is
yeah,
a creepy game. I tried playing that, and the biggest thing that bothers me about that type of game is I can't fight anyone. I'm
right.
just running around.
There was one horror game that I really loved, and it was on the Nintendo GameCube. And
Oh,
it
it's
was
on
called
GameCube.
yep, the
Luigi's
GameCube.
Mansion. Just kidding.
It was it was called yeah, Luigi's Mansion. It was Eternal Darkness is what it's called, and it was a game that would actually not necessarily do like jump scares and stuff like that, but it would
Uh-huh.
mess with you as the player. So you would have like it was called a sanity meter at the top, along with your life bar. And
Sanity
if that
meter.
went out, like you would be playing and then your TV would turn off.
What?
Yeah, and you're just like, wait, wait. Or it would turn
Oh
the
no.
volume, it would turn the volume up on your TV or turn it down.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, no, no.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they did. Or like you'd like go to save, like you'd hit save game and your character's head would just explode and you'd go, wait,
Oh,
what just happened? Like that's a game I want to remake, like a
that was
rematch.
on GameCube.
That was on GameCube.
Wow.
It was
That's
great.
impressive.
It was great.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that game. There's a reason for that.
Right? But that's the thing, like kids today are like, oh, Five Nights at Freddy's is so scary. I'm like, you never got to experience Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. Those things stared at you. I
Chuck
hated
E.
going to
Cheese is
Chuck E.
still
Cheese.
around
It
too.
is, but they've updated like the robots, so they're not as scary.
Oh, good. I
Because like
haven't been in one since I was a child,
me
so
either, but they
I
were
think I was
not.
only in one.
But they were freaky when we were kids, and
Heck yeah, they were
that's like
so
Disney. That's
freaky.
why I think Disney World would scare me because that's all it is just robot people walking around.
I have a story. I went to I must have been in a good mood. So I went to Universal Studios for
Mm.
their Halloween thing, right?
Oh God.
Yeah, and then they've got people in costume walking around and stuff like that. So it's creepy and they just jump out at you. But this this particular character, right, was in the trash can.
Oh no.
Yes. And when I went to throw away some trash, this fool jumped out at me out of the trash can and scared the living mess out of me. So I was so scared, I swung on him. And I ended up going to Universal Studios jail and having to pay $30 or apologize to the character. And I was like, dude needs to apologize for me. Like, you don't
You don't
jump
just
out of
jump.
trash
No.
cans.
Mm-mm.
Totally
No.
unexpected. I would not expect someone to jump out of a trash can.
No, not at all.
So I no longer go to Fright Night at Universal Studios.
All right.
This is how
We
we
won't hold it
learn.
against you. So showing our age a little bit, I saw in one of your videos, this made me laugh so hard. You said somebody, instead of asking for your phone number, asked for your Instagram. What is
Yeah.
going on with society today?
So that clip was like from one of my like very first streams and it kind of like boosted my popularity, I guess. So 2 years later, I do have an update, right? Because
Okay.
I still find it odd that young men and young women are interested in my social media handle as a way to get a hold of me, where as an older woman myself, I feel like you should want my number so that we can
Right.
talk. But okay, which is also coming from someone who doesn't like to talk. I prefer texting, but whatever. So I'm at the car repair shop and I'm trying to schedule to get my car repaired. I'm
Mhm.
talking to the rep. This young man comes in, he's a worker, he's dropping something off. So he drops something off and then he sees me and he wants to talk, which I'm trying to schedule a repair for my car. Thought it was rude, right? Because I can't hear dude telling me what time. So finally, I'm trying to walk out and what do? They follow you, right? He's following me out. So I have to stop because I don't want him to see where I'm parked. And I'm giving him conversation, like, whatever, what's your name? Okay. And then dude was like, well, what's your Instagram? So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? I had my aha moment. I said, here's my Instagram. I gave him, the Queen G22. So he pulls it up. He finds me. Boom. He's good, right? He's happy. He's located me. He's found
Yeah.
me. He has my info. All is good. He bids me adieu. He thinks he's going to talk to me later. I keep him moving. That's when I realized social media usernames is actually better because he can message me and I can block them or just not respond or anything. But when they ask for your phone number, they call you right then and there to make sure it's the right phone number.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
So I learned a little something. I'm not completely against
They
the
have,
social
so
media platform.
I've seen, I just left a job where everybody communicates with Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not what Snapchat was when it first came out. But like they actually had a boyfriend and girlfriend working together. And they didn't even have each other's phone numbers. They just Snapchat. Did not even have each other's phone numbers.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
They just Snapchat. Like,
that's it.
I okay, I'm old. I get it, but I don't completely get it. Like, I feel like if you want to get to know me, then you should, I don't know. I'm just used to giving out my number.
Right.
It just seemed respectful, right?
Yeah.
Not giving you my social media stuff so you can stalk me all over social media. I think that's kind of weird.
It is weird. I feel like it's weird if somebody comes up to me and is like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, I mean, now that I have this page, I could be like, yeah, check this out instead of.
And that was another thing. That day that dude was talking to me, I was decked out in my merch for some reason. I was just feeling it. I had my Linus Den water bottle. I had my beanie. I had my hoodie. And so he was like, what's that? What's this about? And I was like, wow, I need to stop wearing my stuff. It's too much, but
it becomes conversation. Now you've got people talking to you. And
yeah, I don't need that. I'm an introvert. Actually,
I am too. Yeah.
I don't like being in public. I don't like talking to people. I get nervous. Nope. It's too much. So
it's easier to do it behind the camera like we're doing
it
instead of like in person.
Showtime, and then I can turn it off and sit here and play by myself and just do me. Like when COVID cracked off and we were quarantined, I was good. I was not bothered one way or the other.
You had enough to entertain you. Yeah, you had enough to entertain you.
I was like, we could be here for years. I will stay in my game room and be just fine.
Now, is this an actual room or do you have like what do they call them? A she shed out in the backyard?
This is a she shed. It started off, it doesn't matter anymore. It's legal, but or kind of. It started off as a grow room.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not good at it, but I enjoyed, the process of it and of course the selling of it. I enjoyed that. And one day on Instagram, somebody tagged me on a really dope game room. And someone who's a gamer, I didn't really have a place that I could just, sit in my gloriness of everything that I love. And when I saw that game room and then I searched the hashtags and saw up all these amazing game rooms. I was like, I don't have the space to turn an actual room into a game room.
Right.
But I would like that kind of space. So right then and there, I started taking down the lights and setting up and putting together a plan to turn it into something that I would really, really love.
That's cool though. Like you do need that. I finally have that myself. I'm still work in progress on it, but like see the stuff behind me over here. I have stuff on the walls, just kind of going on it. But yeah, you do. You need that like kind of this is my stuff.
Yeah,
You
you
know, this is
do.
what I did.
And I try, and I'm also kind of like a little OCD a little bit. So like
Mhm.
I like my stuff together, and I didn't want to clutter the house with like just a whole bunch of just stuff everywhere. So I try to keep it in one area. So like my Donatello collection is in a room and it's spread out among cases. But I didn't want to have all this stuff just out everywhere, mostly because I just don't want people touching it.
Yes,
Um,
I'm the same way.
yeah, but you if you're a gamer or a collector or whatever you are, whatever you're passionate about, I think you should have a space where you can, go to it. Like if I'm a little bit stressed out or
Mhm.
even if I'm in a good mood, like it's just a room that I enjoy being in.
Yeah. So I've taken up enough of your time. I appreciate you being here and doing this. Why don't you go ahead and plug everything you got to plug?
Oh, well, first, thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun. I love talking about Ninja Turtles and
Mhm.
retro stuff. I can go on for days.
Let's do this again
Um,
sometime.
for sure. Um, the Queen G22, the Queen G22 across the board, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, which I'm still learning to use, Instagram, everywhere. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm there.
And you got merch too, you said.
I have merch. Yeah. I have Ninja Turtle merch, which I'm
Oh,
really
even
proud
better.
of. But yeah, when you come across my socials, there's always a link to my Discord where we, talk about Ninja Turtles and retro stuff as well as merch if you're interested in representing my brand.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.